Do you have any pet peeves?
These other people that come, and they're trying to direct the shoot.
Ah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
These are the
Yes.
friends to the client, and they're trying to direct the shoot. They're trying to go like, no,
Like, do like this.
it's supposed to be like this.
Right.
Now that there, it's very annoying. Yeah.
Welcome back to Kampala Mode. This is a space where we talk to all your favorite fashion creatives, whether it's stylists, photographers, models, everything and everyone in between. So today we have an amazing photographer. Most of the time we don't see photographers. They are behind the camera. And today, you know, you're in front of the camera. Walter Photography. Hi, how
Hello.
are you?
I'm very well. How
Thank you for making the time.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for anyone who may not know who you are,
Yeah.
could you introduce yourself?
My name is Walter. Walter Kabuye. Those are the names of the ID, right? Yeah. So I am an award-winning storytelling photographer, and I am the CEO of the brand Walter Photography. Yes.
Okay. I like that you say storytelling photographer because I think some of your most well-known photos are like the African woman pictures.
That's right.
I want to know, before even we talk about the viral photos,
Yes.
when did you first realize that, oh, you know what, I think photography might be the thing for me?
I remember that time I traveled to Dar es Salaam. At the time, I was actually into music. I was doing music.
Okay.
Yeah, we're playing live band. So I'd gone with these guys to Dar es Salaam. So while I was there, I think it was like an epiphany of sorts.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
Because I was there, I looked around, I had my little camera. I already had love for it.
Okay.
So I had my little camera. Then I was just taking a few pictures of the landscape and everything going on. And I remember waking up one day and I walked up to these guys I was with and I'm like, guys, I'm going back to Kampala and I'm going back to do photography.
Okay.
And like, they all laughed. It was funny, by the way. Like, they all laughed because I was good at what I was doing. I was good at the live music. I used to play the piano, right?
Okay.
So they all laughed. I told them it's okay. Then like a few days later, came back. I came back, I started from scratch, literally from scratch. Now, of course, I didn't have the tools.
Yeah.
I didn't have the equipment. I had only one small little camera.
Okay.
And at the time, there were many studios that actually studio photography was trending at the time. Those were the days of Megapix, you know, the days of Dada. Those big studios at the time were trending. And I remember I sat down with myself and I was like, okay, how am I going to do it? I don't have the money to rent. I just finished school. I don't have the money to rent a space, a studio space. I was literally on scratch.
Yeah.
But I remember at the time, I was still staying in Entebbe.
Okay.
And we had this backyard at home, yeah? We had this crazy backyard that just had a lot of things going, right? So there was just this wooden outside kitchen. There was some pots around. You know how like backyards be, yeah? So I just started I was like, you know what? Let me just work with what I have. I mean, because I was here, I've already left, you know, to come to do this.
So wait, like you properly left music. You were just like, guys, I'm going to go back to do this. They didn't know that was your resignation.
Yeah. I properly left. That's why no one knows that side of me, right?
I'm really surprised to even hear
that.
Yeah,
no one knows that side of me, but if you dig very well, you know, the name Walter Keys. Yeah, it actually has that background.
Okay.
Keys like keys for the piano.
Right.
Yeah, so I am here. I've already left. I cannot go back and I'm stuck. I have no plan. Right?
Yeah.
So I have to figure it out. I have to make it work. So I had to work with what I had. So I remember the time I had friends of mine, you know, around the neighborhood. I'm like, hey, I have this idea, you know, come, let's, you know, let's make it work, right? So they would come and then we would shoot and, you know, I would post. But it took a while. It took a couple of years for people to actually because it looked strange. It was strange at the time because it was something new.
Yeah.
Right? So it looked strange, but then I persisted.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to push this thing. I'm going to start, because it's all I had.
Right.
I didn't have any other options. I didn't have plan B.
But you said you were just out of school. What had you studied in school?
I'd studied industrial and fine arts.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Industrial and fine arts. So I didn't have qualification papers to go for a job, a formal job of sorts of like go and sit, be a secretary or be what, you know. I didn't have papers for that.
Okay.
I mean, the degree just couldn't allow for very many forms of jobs, right? So it's either you were becoming self-employed, you were starting your own business. Because what happened is that most of the people we studied with, for them, they had already ventured into whatever they were studying, right? Most of them were fashion designers. They became big fashion designers, right? Now me, I'd done painting. I'd majored in painting, and photography was like the other option I'd done. Right. But painting was very expensive. Yes. It was extremely expensive to buy. Canvas. One tube of paint at the time, I don't know right now, but at the time, one tube of paint was like 60,000. And you needed a minimum of 5 tubes of paint. So that's like 300,000. And then you need to stretch canvas. Then you need to make the frames. So basically, like, when people look at like the cost of a painting, I feel like they don't understand
what actually goes into it,
why they're expensive, but the material itself is like quite pricey. And then remember, I've just come out of school, I don't have money, and you cannot keep asking your parents for money, right? Yeah, so I had my little camera and I'm like, this is what I have, I'm going to make this work. Yeah.
Whoa, that's so interesting. I mean, a big theme that we keep seeing on Kampala Mode is, you know, parents being a little bit resistant to the creative spark. I feel like, especially as someone who did industrial arts, your parents were a lot more forgiving. So tell me about their relationship with either like your creativity and stuff like that. Weren't they like worried and they're like, why are you doing painting? Why don't you go and be, you know, an engineer or a lawyer or something like that?
Yeah. So interestingly, I have a really interesting relationship with my dad.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that man very, very much. Everyone knows I love that man. If you don't know it today. Yeah, I have a very interesting relationship with him. So unlike all my other siblings, I won't say I was treated differently or anything, but unlike all my other siblings, me, I used to speak out. I would talk for myself. You get. So my elder sister, for her, she went into medicine, nursing, and all those things. My elder brother went into ICT and all those things. So when it came to me, already, like from a really young age, I already had like that interest in art and everything. Even at school, like I'm speaking as low as O-level. I was still, you know, like the drawing and everything. I was really good at it and I was passionate about it, right? So I remember in my S4, time to fill JAB forms. They're called JAB forms, right? For A-level. Time to fill JAB forms. So for the first time, my dad asks, what do you want to do at A-level? Yeah. Right? So, of course, at the time when we were studying, sciences were the thing, right? So if you're doing arts, basically, you're not studying. You're wasting time, right? So I tell him, I want to do like PEM art or PCM art. Okay. Everything, but whatever combination, meg art, right? So A-level comes and it is, I feel in all the forms, they don't give me what I want. All right, so I remember I sat down there with my dad. There was a school somewhere in Mukono that, you know, was giving me the combination, but I'm like, this is very far. Plus, I didn't want to be in the village. Yeah, as a person, I just don't like the village. Right. I only love my village where I come from. Yeah. So I wanted to go back to the school I was studying. So, but the school was giving me it was giving me an arts course. Okay. It was giving me Hague Art.
Oh, right. So
I remember in that moment, my dad told me, you know what? Your interest is art. Yeah. Just go and do the course and, you know, get done with it. So I listened to him. So I do Hague Art. And I actually performed really well.
Yeah.
At A-level, we sat down. He's like, what do you want to do at the university? I'm like, I'm into art, right? So first, second choice were all art. And down these ends, you put like an education in case everything goes sour, you know? Yeah. Education is a good course. It's just that for some reason, we all used to art. It was, So I got art. I got a Bachelor of Industrial Fine Art at Makerere. I actually got it on government sponsorship.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually a smart guy.
Yeah.
I performed really well. I came out in the papers.
Please, we have allowed.
Yeah, so anyway, I get it on government sponsorship, and I go to study and everything. But the thing is, my dad has always been supportive of my, say, artistic journey. Because even when I was doing music, he would let me go and do, you know, my music, perform, do live band at night and everything. And then also, I remember he just used to look at my like stuff I used to do as strange. It was really strange because I used to be in the backyard and I'm fixing up things, and you know, and he would just look at me and he would go like, man, let him do his thing.
Walter is doing Walter,
Let him do his thing. The truth of the matter is, I don't think he knew it would actually yield these kind of results that we have right now.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that he gave me the freedom to express myself.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I think that's really something that sets him apart.
Absolutely.
From a lot of the stories I've heard about parents. Many of them are just like, please get an office job just in case. Do this on the side. Like, treat it as a hobby. And yet...
Yeah, no, he didn't do that. Because I remember that, I think his proudest moment is the time I had an exhibition at golf course. And so I remember I invited him. I'm like, hey, Dad, I have this exhibition. I want you to come. So when he came, I think he thought it was one of those things I usually do. And, like, you know, he came, was seated. He actually sat like right beside me at the front. And there was performances and there was all these things going on. And I remember in his speech, he said, this boy has always challenged me. As my son, he has always challenged. And even gave reference of a certain story. It was like, there was a time, I think, I went to him and I wanted money, right? So I go to him like, Dad, I need like a 20K. At school, they need this and this and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So then he told me everything that was happening at office, how there's no money and everything. I told him, Dad, I honestly have no idea what happens at office, and I will never know. Right? I'll never know. If you don't have money, it's okay. Just tell me you don't have money. You don't have to
give me this entire,
you know, just tell me you don't have what, and it's okay. Then he also gave a reference of a time he was telling me that he was telling me things like, back in the days, for us, we used to walk, you know, to go to school. In fact, we used to first go to the garden, you know, dig and everything. I told him, Dad, you have a car. Like, you have a car, and I cannot walk to school. Because you have a car. That was your time, and it worked fantastic for you guys. I cannot walk to school.
Right.
Yeah. So, in essence, any normal African parent would be beating up the child for trying to whatever. But I was not being offensive. I was just pointing out the reality. Right? That even us now, the children will give birth to, there is certain things they will just never know. You understand?
Absolutely.
When we were growing up, things like Coco Melon were not there.
Right.
Right? Like DSTV was the thing, right? Like, and even to watch it, like, man, it was like a privilege and things like that. You get? Right now, a child is supposed to be exposed to information as early as it can be. Because it is the age, we're in an internet age. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have like Wi-Fi, at least you can afford like a data bundle.
Right.
Some weekend chillax band of sorts, you know? Yeah. So for me, it has been like that with my dad, even up to today. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know if it was the first time that I met you, but I think it was the first time that I met you We were at Casa de Roy, and you were shooting Spice Diana. And that photo, that set of photos, but especially the green look,
the green look,
has been one that like really stuck because it was like, you know, it was just so good. And I think the thing that fascinated me the most, especially because we were on location, but you came with the entire kit. You came with the like multiple lights, and you know, you were always manipulating something here and there. And in fact, even today, by the lighting, as you can see, is a little bit different from what we usually have on Kampala Mode. It's because you literally, you know, set up the lighting. And I was so fascinated. I think that's something that I haven't seen really with other photographers, the way you manipulate light and the way you look at light and understand light. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, the word photo means light. Just the word photo itself is a direct translation to mean light. Photography is simply your understanding of light. How well you understand light. How do you see light? How, because lighting affects literally everything. It affects the mood, it affects everything you want to communicate. It affects how people will interpret your photo. It also gives character to whatever you're trying to create. So for me, I feel like every photographer should have to do more research about lighting, because however good an editor you are, but when the lighting in your photo is terrible, it's definitely just not going to work. Right? Even if you have the best editing skills, you know, if you have actually the correct lighting, you can actually just take a photo straight from camera and share it, and it will be loved. So for me, everything about photography, it is light. How well have you mastered your lighting? You get,
How long did it take you to reach the point that you are at with the lighting skill?
Every day I'm still learning. Even as we speak right now, I'm still learning. Every day, because with every time there's new equipment, there is new technology. There's something new that is coming out every day. So for me, every day I'm still learning. I wouldn't say it took me this period, because for me the learning curve is still going. It's just that I feel like your ability or your if you have a teachable spirit, right, then you're going to learn even from the slightest of situations. Because sometimes I can just be there and I look at just a tree, and I just see how the light is falling on the tree. Or sometimes I can be there and I'm maybe seated there and I'm in the dark, or someone just moves the torch of their light close to something and it casts a shadow, or it does, like for me, like it's all I see.
Which is intriguing. I like that you talked about the dark, because there's something that kind of like pisses me off about some photography, where the event is in a dim place, and the dimness of it all brings, you know, there's that intimate vibe, or, you know, that kind of, I don't know, like it's really cool. And then you have the event photographer come with a flash on top, and he's like taking that photo, and you're like,
and they lighten up the entire space is bright.
Exactly, and you get the photos back and you see like just like a big bright you know, spot in your face. And it's fascinating, because in my mind I'm like, I don't know, is there a way that you can actually work with how, you know, the environment already is and stuff like that?
I mean, it's again, it gets back to how well you understand your equipment that you're using, because some situations don't really require for you to have like light flashing into people, then some do, right? So it is knowledge. It's just knowledge. It's I feel like it's not something that can exactly be taught. It is something that you probably have as a gift, right? Your ability to see. It's like people who hear thoughts, It's like people who dreams, you know? It's like people who like, it's a gift. That's how I can describe it. It's like a gift. To some extent, you can learn it as a skill, but then there are those people who have it. Whereby it's a gift. They will share with you the knowledge, but then for them, it comes to them at that level.
Those African woman photos, let's talk about that, because I mean, I don't know what exactly fascinates you about
the African woman.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, when I came into this space, I wanted to portray the beauty of an African woman because I saw there was a challenge at the time when I was starting out in this thing of photography. I believe everyone is beautiful behind the lens. It's just how they are captured, right? Now, most African women, or for you to be defined as an African woman, you have to be either a little bit chubby or you have to be heavily endowed, right? With various features, okay? Now, for me, I feel and I see that that is beautiful. But then the thing is, how do we project that beauty?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
The best way to project that beauty is by doing things in our own setting, in our own understanding, and in our own way, right? Because if an African woman wears something that is, say, French, they will not look as good as a French person wearing it.
Right.
You understand?
Yes.
So we had to first begin it from that level.
Okay.
Okay. Now, of course, we had to look at how did we used to be as a people. We were not so, back in the days, we didn't dress that much, right? We either used to wrap ourselves in animal skin or things like that.
Yeah.
Right? Actually, dressing was like a privilege.
Yeah.
Back in the days, like used to be the royals that used to have like those garments that used to come from the Middle East, from the traders and everything, right? But as a people, we just used not to dress that much, and it's just a part of who we are.
Yeah.
And then also, I believe if you're going to showcase something, you ought to show a little bit more of what is on the inside, right? So we ought to show a bit more skin. We ought to show a bit more of what's happening on the inside. Because you see, when someone is just dressed like in a kanzu or in a hijab, the most you have is the face card.
The face, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Every other thing, you don't know what's happening with this. Yeah. Now, we don't just want to show the beauty of the woman, but we also want to encompass it with various activities that used to happen, right? Now, of course,
the pots and everything.
The pots and everything, and the various activities, the cooking, the fetching of the water, and everything, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, as an artist, I had to think of a way to project it, whereby it's not just about get a traditional wear and then you showcase it. Get the Bachiga wear, then you shoot it. Get the Baganda garments and then you shoot it. Ideally, that would be boring. You get. As an artist, I had to think of a way of portraying. How do I portray this woman in a beautiful way that is not vulgar, but at the same time, it's essential, right? It shows beauty, right? And at the same time, with activity. So that's how I actually kept on building that style to where it is right now. Yeah.
Well, have you received a bit of critique about that particular style? I feel like I've, in passing, in some spaces like on Twitter or something like that, you'll find, someone saying, oh, but this is not how we're supposed to look like, or it's, kind of, exaggerated or something like that.
Yeah, of course I've received some criticism. Some people think some of the ladies I shoot are maybe a little bit too exposed. Some think they're naked. Some think everyone has their own opinion, right? But then the thing is, this is an art form. It's an art form, and it's something I've created and worked on for over the years. And the truth of the matter is, everyone is subject to the opinion. Society has its own opinion. You understand? There are people who look at it and go like, oh my God, you're overly exposing our legs and everything and whatnot. And that's okay. They have a right to their opinion. But at the same time, I have to express this art form in its most raw and authentic form. The way I perceive it and the way I see it to be fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So of course there's criticism, there is backlash from people and everything. But if you stay true to who you are, people will actually also see what you're doing, and they will embrace it, and they will go like, this guy has done this, he has stayed true to this. And they will start to also see that we are projecting beauty of an African woman.
I mean, I feel like doing shoots like that, you've encountered so many different kinds of models. What's your favorite kind of muse to work with?
My favorite kind of muse. Now, if I say a favorite kind of muse, I'll be chasing my clients. Right?
No, but it's like, no, we're talking models specifically. So not necessarily walk-ins, and we're going to talk about that. But
but I feel like that has been projected in the work already. You know?
Okay.
I mean, someone who is heavily endowed, you know, and someone who is dark-skinned. I love a nice, dark, chocolate-skinned model.
Okay.
Yeah, because as an individual, I want the black person to appreciate themselves.
Right.
Yeah, because everyone wants, is into the whole bleaching thing and everything.
Right.
I want them to look at themselves and see beauty.
And what about like the posing or like the energy they bring? Is that something that you look for, or is it something that you can work on set? Now,
interestingly, as an individual, I don't like to. My preference is not someone who is already an established model, right? One who is already in the industry and everything. My preference is someone who is raw.
Okay.
Because you see, someone who is raw, you can bend them to whatever you want. And then also, most importantly, you want to capture emotion. You understand? You want to capture that raw emotion.
Okay.
Someone who is already trained as a model, they have a set of skills, and they feel there's a certain way things ought to be done.
Right.
And yet for me,
they know their angles.
Yes, they know their angles, they know their poses. And yet for me as an individual, I break all those rules. You get, I break all the rules of posing, I break all the rules of, because everything I do goes, in one way or another, goes against that. Because I'm more after the story rather than the posing.
Yeah.
So I would rather get someone who is completely raw.
Yeah.
But has the features that we are looking for.
Yeah. And then
we shoot.
Will come through.
So over time, when you're working with them, they get to kind of understand the dynamic of what you want. Because also, I mean, eventually you have to guide them on the posing and everything. But then they're easier to work with.
Have you ever shot someone who was like camera shy? Like, even if not the African photo series, but like in studio or anywhere else, have you dealt with people who are camera shy?
Yeah, one time we had a client who was very, very camera shy. Had come like here in studio with a team of like 5 people. So there is this particular shot I wanted to achieve, and it required her to like kind of be a little bit open here, right?
Okay.
So I tell her, you know what, we have to do this. So me, I'm serious. I'm like, no, so do like this. And I'm in the zone. I've seen the shot already in my head.
Yeah.
She was like, I can't do it. I'm like, why can't you do it? It's not like you're going to be, you know, flashing boobs or whatever. It's like, I can't do it, man. There's all these people around. I'm like, if I got rid of them, you would do it. She's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. Everyone, please get out.
Yeah.
So I had everyone leave.
Right.
And it was just me and her, and the camera, and her makeup artist. Because for her, she's comfortable with her.
Okay.
And we got the shot. We did get the shot. Of course, there's many people who are camera shy, but for me, that's not a hindrance, provided we can create. It's all about creating the right, comfortable atmosphere for them. And you will actually get that shot.
Okay. I want to talk about, I guess, the power of collaboration, because I've seen you work a lot with Kai's Devo collections and sometimes Natna Hair.
You cannot, no man is an island. You cannot do you cannot do everything on your own, right? And it's good to have individuals in the entertainment industry that you can work with. Because now, for example, like Kais Divo is a renowned, award-winning fashion designer, right? This is someone who has gone everywhere around the world and has probably picked an award from every part of the country he goes to. You understand? Yeah, for those who know him. And you need that knowledge from him. I mean, yes, you can be good at what you do, but you need knowledge, information. A wealth of knowledge and information is very important if you're going to grow as an individual. So, because every time he comes back from you know, those various countries, there is something new he has to share. There is something new he has to learn. You understand? And also, like, just having all these different individuals come on board on a project also kind of gives all of you more mileage. Like, you get to tap into each other's audiences, and you also get to meet various people, right? Because, for example, if I have a client and they want to be dressed, I'm like, no, go to Kais Divo and everything. And when they get there, they get to see even more things they like, and then he has won a client, right? Or if also vice versa, the person likes, you know, so things like that. So
because even there's a time I was going to a Bridgerton event, and Kais Divo dressed me, and he's like, make sure you go to Walter for the photos.
Exactly, yeah, because there is just that specific you know, also the other thing about collaborations, that you get to have a team of people whereby you can rely on them to achieve a project. In case a project drops like this, or like, okay, there is this, we need this and this and this. As a photographer, I'm going to go like, we need this kind of designer, we need this kind of makeup artist, we need this kind of space, we need this kind of, you know, everything to be on board so that we can actually make it work. So collaborations are very key. You cannot make it on your own. It's impossible.
Do you get a lot of people who want free photos, like influencers who are like, take my photo, I'll share it, da da da?
In the beginning, yes, but right now, no. Because I feel every brand needs to develop a system that everyone should follow, right? Yeah, if you're reaching out to me and it is a collaboration, I need to see the benefit it's going to have on my end as a brand. But then if you come and then you just tell me, take a picture of me, I'll post you, and you know, people will see you, I'll get you clients, and every, you know, I don't think I'll take on that I'll take on that offer. There was a time, actually, I remember a client came to me and is like, so I share with them my packages and prices and everything. It's like, I need a discount. I'm like, these are our standard rates, okay? Like, no, I need a discount because once I share these photos, you're even going to have more clients coming in, and you know, I told the client, you know what, this is what we're going to do. If you're going to just shoot 3 times with me at my standard rates, after the 3rd time, the 4th time, you're not even going to pay for that shoot. It will be free of charge.
Interesting.
Now, of course, someone who has already come and they want a discount at the beginning, you have literally you've literally made their work impossible. So you've not refused to give them the discount. You said, I'm going to give it to you, but first come 3-4 times. Let me see that you're actually serious about working with us. Then we can actually do it.
That was an interesting way of dealing with that.
So I didn't chase them away. I did give the discounts. But in my own in my own way. So you just have to create a system which doesn't affect the business, it doesn't affect the brand, and it is streamlined in such a way that when someone is coming to you, they know. They know what they have come for.
Okay. Interesting. And how has it been working with your wife, Letitia? Because I understand your partner, like I've never been on a set where you are and she's not there.
Now that is very interesting because everyone in the industry wonders how that happens, you know, and how we're able to like pull it off. The thing is, Letitia, before she was even my wife, she's my friend. She's like Charlie Wang, you get, and she has all my interests at heart.
Right.
She has the brand at heart. She has me, the individual, at heart, right? And the truth of the matter is, along the way, there are things that she gets to see that I may have not seen. Okay. Right? She's like that, my other, like that third eye, if I may put it that way, right? Yeah. So working with her for me is easy. It's very easy because, I mean, she understands the brand very well. She loves the brand. She fights for the brand. And she also understands me as the individual, as a creative. Yeah. Because the thing is, as creatives, we are kind of, we tend to focus a lot more on the creative side. Yes. And we forget about that you have to make money. Right. So she's constantly there to remind me of like, Guy, I know you're good at this. I know you want this, but not every collaboration is good for you. Right, right. Not every opportunity is good for you. Like, she's there to kind of help me sieve out, you know, because, you know, as the brand grows, there are various things that you need to start adapting to, and there are various things you need to start letting go of at every stage of that brand. So for her, she's there to make sure that the business side of things is running and running effectively. Yeah. I will tell you for a fact that in the beginning, we did not agree on many things because I used to look at them from a creative angle of like, no, I want to take this shoot, I want to take that picture, I want to do this, you know. I really, really wanted to take that shot. She's like, no, we cannot take that shot. The client has not paid for it. Yes, you want to take it, it's good. You probably post it on your page, but the amount of resources you're going to put in is not what you're getting back in terms of returns. Right. You understand? So she has opened my mind about the whole business venture, that you don't just wake up and do things just because you have an idea, it has exploded, you're like, bam, let's go do it, you know? And then you pull together resources that are not coming back. Right. So she has told me you have to invest. And the investment there has to be a return on investment. You don't just do things as just because you're good at what you do. Oh my goodness. And I think that might be one of the things that like edges you out, because creatives and like people who are creative at heart, there's a point where you kind of just like look at money and you're like, okay, we'll get to that. Exactly. And like you're focusing on like the image and And sometimes even I can reach that point where I'm just like, I need this to be this kind of image and this and this. And then, you know, it's like, but then how about this side? How about the cost? How about all that? And so I think it's such a cool thing that you have someone who is looking at that and helping you like get back on that, on the track. Yeah. So, I mean, she has, and also we like devised a way on how to separate between her being my wife, right, and when we're doing business. Yeah, because when we're in the space of business and we're dealing with a client, she is my manager, and as my manager, she is the person I'm supposed to listen to advise me, because she knows that if we don't make money here, the family also, the other side is not going to be happy. So she's that person who is always just looking out for how are we going to break even. Right? Don't just create work just because you feel like it. You understand? So how do you make that separation? How do you know, like, okay, the veil is lifted now, it's, you know, wife mode or it's work business mode? I mean, it's because business starts at any point. I mean, and everywhere, right? Yes. So when a client comes through and is like, yo, there's this and this opportunity, blah, 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 blah. I'll go like, you know what? Especially when I'm not very certain about the opportunity, when it's not within like our packages and everything and whatnot, I'll go like, you know what? Just give me a moment. Let me let me get back to you. Let me think it through and everything, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll get on the side and I talk to her, or I call her, or whatever. Or if we are together, I just, I'm like, so and so has called, and there is this and this opportunity. And of course, she will ask me a series of questions. Like, okay, so what is the need for us?
Right.
Yeah, because it's not just about come. We want, there's everyone who is trying to bring up opportunities, and these opportunities are not exactly in favor of us, but them. It doesn't benefit us. It's them. They are only using you to make their thing, like say, flourish, right? So essentially, she asks me a series of those questions, right? And then I get the answers, and then when we get the answers, we're like, okay, so this will either work for us or this won't work for us. Yeah. Then wife mode is, babe, we need to go out.
Right.
Yeah, we need to go out, Wife or husband mode is let's go for dinner.
Right.
You understand? So it's that thing of you cannot take it personal when you're being actually challenged about your own thing.
Right.
And then also, you are not right 100%. And then also, we have created a space whereby no one is more superior to the other.
Okay.
We both need each other for this to work.
Right.
So there is no need for you to shout.
Right.
There is no need for you to go like, I'm the CEO,
like stand on
I
the
will
table
take
and
the
be like,
decision. No. Decisions have to be taken at a place of mutual agreement.
Right.
Right? If I wake up and I take a decision on my own without informing her and it affects the business, she has the right to question me.
Right.
She has the right to challenge me as a business partner. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Then home things are home things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today, what are we going to eat at home?
Right.
What are they going to cook?
Speaking of home things, congratulations on the new one.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, we are doing well. We're doing well.
Yeah, it's always beautiful when, things are growing as well.
Yeah. But she has been a great support.
Yeah.
My wife has been a great, great support. I mean, I feel like I could not have reached this far if it's not for her, because at a certain point, it was just all about creation.
Right.
But then you see, the thing is, she has made me understand that you don't just create. You have to make money. You have to make the right partnerships. You have to do the right collaborations. You have to meet the right people.
Yeah.
You have to expand as an individual. You have to brand yourself. You have to dress well. You have to look good. You have to, like, your identity, your brand is you. You understand? Yeah, and she always constantly tells me, if you fail, it is you who has failed. Right. Not me. You are the one who owns the brand. I'm here to support you. Right? And I always keep that at the back of my mind, that because she always tells me, this thing is, I'm here to support you. I'm here to support you. But then we have to work together. You have to listen to me. You have to, we have to have conversations, Yeah, we have to. The days we actually go out and just sit down and we're talking about the business. Right. Then the days we go out and sit down and just us. Yeah. Nothing to do with the business, nothing to do with any client and everything. So it's just about managing the time. Yeah.
I've seen some of the photos you've taken with her. Are they self-portraits? Do you get someone else to take the photo? I've always wondered, because I'm like, okay, so they're here. Who did he put it on a timer, or?
Some are self-portraits.
Okay.
Others, usually, especially now, like when we have traveled. Yeah. We usually just get someone who is there. Okay. And I set everything. Yeah. And I just tell, all you have to do. Click this button. Everything is okay. Yeah. Then I deal with the rest of the post-production and everything. Yeah. Most times they're strangers. So we don't really know them. We cannot exactly give them photo credits. Right. It's like just someone was walking by and like, hey, can you please help us take a photo? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
But then tell me about the self-portraits, how you do
self-portrait, you put it on a tripod, connect the camera onto the phone. Okay. Right? By Wi-Fi, and then you kind of shoot using the phone. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good that you've kind of spoken about the gear, because I think as you know, younger creatives or, you know, a photographer who might be entering the business, they're like, now I need that specific, you know, camera, and I need that kit, and I need that kind of lighting.
Yeah.
Do you actually need all the gizmos and whatevers to start, or?
I mean, I feel like for one, I'm not a guy who has. I'm not a sucker for equipment and gear.
Okay.
Have 5 lights.
Right.
15 lenses. What? You understand? No. I feel like everyone should just get exactly what they need.
Okay.
In that time. And also, for that person who is just starting out, get what you can afford. Because equipment is so expensive. It's pricey.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you. So for me, how I've done it is that at every stage, when there is a need for a certain type of equipment, that's what I invest in. And that's how I've accumulated equipment.
Okay.
Right? But if there's no need for another piece of gear and whatever I have can actually sufficiently do the job,
right,
I will not buy more equipment. So for me, it's about that's how I look at it. I'm not one of those people who goes like, I saw this, I need it. I saw this, I need it. No.
Some of the ads for those cameras can get crazy. I've seen someone who had, I don't know, it was a drone, but like he can set it so that it's focusing on the subject. Whichever way it turns. And so I was just like, whoa, like you can almost get sucked into trying to get this and that and the other. And
many have. Many actually have. They keep on buying all this equipment and everything.
And then you end up not using it.
And you end up not even using it, right? Also, the thing is, I feel like you need to buy gear when you need to have an improvement on your work. And you know this tool is actually going to help improve on your work, right? Like, I have a friend of mine who usually makes this joke. He usually tells, actually, most of the work there was work I shot for a very long time. Most of the work that trended around 2017, 2018, and 20 about 19 there, most of the work that trended there, I was using only one camera and one lens. One small 50mm lens. That's all I was using. And maybe a light. But I had one camera. One light. And one lens and one light. You understand?
I find it hard to imagine Walter with just one light. Because it's usually like layers and what.
At most 2. And that's the thing. If you have understanding of lights, for example, if you know you're shooting and, because most people, when there is the sun, they like to shoot, they like to turn the person to the direction of the sun. Now me, I turn them to the opposite direction. And I have the sun come from the back so that I use that. I use this other light to fill it. Right? So the other one acts as a backlight, and this is a what? A front light. So it's, again, gets back, knowledge of lighting, right? So for me, I don't believe that you need to have tons of equipment. You just need to have the equipment that you need.
Do you have any pet peeves?
These other people that come, and they're trying to direct the shoot. Right?
Okay,
These are the friends to the client, and they're trying to direct the shoot. They're trying to go like, no,
do like this.
It's supposed to be like this.
Right.
Now that there, it's very annoying. It's extremely annoying. I remember this one time, this babe she came, she even brought out a phone. She has her Pinterest idea. She's like, you need to post like this. She moved the client. And she's like, in fact, even the way you've put the light, it's not right. Do you know what I did? I just got the camera. I gave it to her. I'm like, please, by all means.
Must be your calling.
Let's first shoot that photo, because I think you have it in your mind.
Right.
Shoot that photo. And I was very calm. Not whatever. Like, please, show me. Show me. Let me see how to, those are the most one. Those are actually.
You know, when you said people around the set, I thought you were going to say like those who are also taking their own content with the phones and what.
I mean, no, we in the beginning it used to annoy us, the phones and everything. But then we are in a new age. You need to accept that reality. So what I usually do is I allow them to shoot. Then After they have shot, I go like, okay, guys, have you finished?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me now take my what?
That's so true, brother. I remember the time I think we were shooting the Mother's Day thing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, so many phones were out and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, have the second videographers, are you done?
You guys done?
Okay, now
Finished.
let's shoot.
Now
And I was just
shoot.
like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
because that way you avoid the subject to be distracted by the phones.
right.
And also, you know, these people who come with their phones so close like
they're
this.
in the shot and everything.
Like, yeah. And they're like, say, ooh, baby, looking good. And like, tilt the head, tilt the head.
Right.
Like, give me a smile.
And they're doing the whole thing. Yeah.
You know, I want to see this. You know, yeah. So you allow them to do their thing.
Yes.
And then after they're finished, you also do yours.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. Do you have a fashion unpopular opinion?
A fashion and popular opinion as regards?
In regards to fashion, like, because I mean, you are always shooting fashion, you know, photos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there, you know, an opinion you may have about?
My problem about the fashion and, the fashion industry in general is I feel like people don't go all out.
Ooh.
Yeah, people don't go all out.
Okay.
Like, I feel like
we could come harder.
We could come harder.
Yeah.
I feel like we are yet to do better. Right?
Interesting.
I feel like we need to put in more effort. If you look at the South Africans, if you look at the Nigerians, there is effort.
Yeah.
Right? I know people don't like us to mention about the South Africans and the Nigerians, but guy,
you have to give credit.
We have to give credit where it's due, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we could come harder. And then I also feel like there are original ideas that are here that we need to tap into.
Yeah.
We need to stop the whole idea of
trying to copy,
get these ideas and bring them here. Yes, that's the trending thing. We have, that cannot be avoided. But then for you to stand out, I'm of that notion of for you to stand out, you need to do something that is uniquely to you.
Are there any kinds of, like, I guess, those unique identities or like very Ugandan things that we could, you know, tap into and really develop? Or
in terms of fashion?
Yes.
I feel like what has happened is that in the industry, everyone has limited. When we say, for example, when it comes to time of independence, there's independence shoots, everyone is limited to backcloth. Yeah. Everyone is limited to a little bit of the cowrie shells, the colors, right? And yet I feel like we are rich with like various things that we can actually like use, things like animal skins, things like even backcloth has types. Yes. You know, there's apparently white backcloth that people didn't know. Yeah. I also didn't know about it.
There's a designer that I know who has worked with backcloth and who keeps trying to manipulate it and has found a way to even dye it different colors.
You understand what I'm saying?
Like that. Yeah.
Like, I feel like we have a lot around that we could work with that we have not like really tapped into, right? These African crafts that we keep doing, I feel like there is a lot that can work within there. The beadwork,
the beading, yes.
Yeah, I feel like it's just about us believing in ourselves. Yeah, like we say, this is our thing, we can do it. We can actually do it. You get, because that's the only thing that separates us from other people. Yeah. That's the only thing that separates us from Nigerians. They believe in what they have, they believe in what and they push it. Yeah. They push it, they push for it. That's just it. Like having that raw idea of like, I'm going to use bean. You know, we have a big food basket here. And that is something we could actually capitalize on to make, you know, various ideas. I've seen ideas that are inspired by leaves, ideas that are inspired by various things. We could like look into that, you know, and not wait for other people to do it on our behalf. Right. Yeah. Get these prints that we are doing and find a way of, you know, I like the evolution of the gomasi, that it came from the shiny material to now people actually have it with stones and you know. Yeah, so that kind of thing, I feel like we need to just pushing more.
Yeah.
We need to push harder.
Keep, like, developing.
I feel like we are comfortable.
Yeah.
We are comfortable. Like as an industry, we are comfortable. We have not. Even the people who are doing it, I feel like they can do more. I have seen some of them do more. Right? I've seen, like, they come and just do this one fascinating outfit and then they just chill out.
Right.
You know? Yeah. I don't know whether it's the resources. I don't know whether it is what, but I feel they can do more. Yeah.
Okay. And as we wrap up, I just want to know, what would be your advice to a younger photographer entering the scene?
My advice is, if you have an idea, stick to it. Push it. Make it work. Make it work. Don't tire. Don't what. Of course, you're going to get challenges. Of course, you're going to get people who are going to talk down on it. But push it. You can only make a difference when you stand out. Whatever idea you have, however raw it is, just go for it, because that's how styles have been formed. That's how styles have been created. Yeah, I'm a testament of that.
Right.
I stuck onto this thing, and here we are. We have won awards. We have married a woman. We have given birth to children. We have traveled places, just basically because I had an idea and I did not give up on it. Yeah.
Okay. Walter, thank you so much for your time and your wisdom. You've really shared some gems that even I am going back with and going to be like, okay, we need, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So I think it has been a really valuable session that we've had today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And we'll see you next week. Bye.